Hello, beautiful people. It's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're back again with another video from the Whatever podcast. Let's check it out.
I just think it's wild that you say, Andrew, that you don't even involve your wife in like what you say just goes, and it's not even a good discussion because you don't even want to, you don't care to deal with it.
It's not what I say.
Pretty much.
No. I just say if it is the case that I do that, right, she doesn't have a say. So when I feel inclined to do so, if necessary, she doesn't have a say.
Well,
Doesn't mean I don't involve her in any decision making. That would be absurd.
Okay.
In fact, I need to consult with her on many different things because she runs the household.
Okay.
But who cares?
So then maybe I just saw like one clip
so
that.
ultimately the position just is if I decide not to involve her, that's my choice and not her choice. And if I decide that we need to do something within the household that she may disagree with, that's ultimately my choice. Doesn't mean I don't involve her in any decision making.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you think every relationship should be like that, or is that just for you?
I think that if more relationships were run as a patriarchy where a woman submits, a man's the head of the household, that they would be a lot better for both people involved.
My question is, why do modern women fear the word submission so bad? That means they know the right thing, they are just afraid of doing it because obviously modern women are afraid of being accountable. They don't like being held accountable. And submission is women doing their part or modern women doing their part, which they know and they're afraid of it. So they know what they are doing in essence. Since they're afraid of the word submission, they know what they are doing, obviously. So you want a man to provide, you don't want to submit to the man. And another thing many modern women fail to understand is every marriage is not the same. Just because you saw somebody's marriage, person A doing something in their marriage, does not equate or think that's how every marriage is going to be run by or how every marriage is going to run. But obviously, lots of women or modern women think by submitting to your husband, you've entirely lost your voice in the marriage and you've lost yourself or you're going to lose yourself in the marriage.
I think biblically speaking, what's going on in this country right now, part of the reason we're having so much fallout, even politically, is because there aren't enough male leaders and figureheads, and we need strong male leadership all around. So I don't disagree with your viewpoint. I think there's obviously exceptions, as you're kind of bringing up, like there should be female involvement in certain decisions, but I respect your view on that.
Problem is that people always want to make arguments from outliers. The kind of like we're always looking at these small outliers and going, what about them? Well, we're not going to shape policy around outliers, right? We're not going to do that. We're not going to shape society around outliers. We're not going to do that. That would be really stupid. That would be the sacrifice of the whole for the few rather than the few for the whole. So that would make no sense. Like, yeah, you can imagine that there's some people who possibly stop signs may affect negatively. I don't know. I'm sure that they're out there. I don't know how they're affected negatively by them, but I don't give a shit, right? Because we still need to have stop signs. So I ultimately don't care. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, let's go ahead and redo everything when it comes to, you stopping at an intersection because that affects your mental health.
Yeah,
or
like
some retarded
like
shit,
I
right?
agree with you. Like I think there
my
is
bad.
like a biological aspect to like relationships and like gender roles and all that. But I think that like in a relationship, like you should have the decision to kind of have the dynamic that you want. Like if the woman wants to be the provider, I think that should be like an option. But like in general, I do think that biology plays a part and that in general men are more inclined to be the providers.
Listen, I agree that if a woman wants to be a provider, she should be a provider. I would just advise any man who is with a woman like that to get the fuck away from her. That's all. Like,
If a man is
I'm not gonna
submissive
say,
enough and he wants that, like
I'm
why
not gonna
not?
say, I'm not gonna say that they can't, right? That would be absurd. And maybe there's some guy out there who's like, oh, I just can't wait to simp for you, queen, or whatever. Whatever it is, fine. But my advice to men like would be to get away from that woman. It's probably gonna end very badly. Probably.
Absolutely, because of course, one thing to remember is the woman is more than likely looking for a man child. There is no way it's gonna be possible, or is gonna that kind of relationship is gonna last, because obviously this is exactly what feminists want. They want a way where they can control men and tell men what to do. So of course, that's why they brought about the strong, independent woman that don't need a man and all of that. That the boss chick lady, I can do it all by myself and everything. Look at it. How many marriages that the woman is the provider last long? Of course, no, it doesn't. Even if you want to lie to yourself, even as much as you want to lie to yourself, as long as the woman is the provider in that home, that marriage is not going to last. The relationship is not going to last. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And exactly what modern feminists want. That's why they find it really hard to submit to a man. They would rather want to take the shield and be masculine and be the boss chick lady that don't need a man. Not like that kind of relationship cannot work, oh, but I don't think a man in his right senses want to put himself in that kind of situation. And for the man that the woman want to be a provider for you, piece of advice: run, dust your slippers and run.
Not the best idea.
Okay. Was there? I kind of want to just get everybody's disagreements before we dive into any of the particulars. So, was there more?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Disagreements.
So I kind of like already kind of stated like my stance, but I do think that there is like a biological aspect to like gender norms and like just gender roles in society in general. But I think that like in my relationship personally, like I would like to be like a trad wife. Like I want my husband to provide for me, but I understand that there are women who don't want that, and that's totally fine.
I've met like 3.
Yeah.
But it seems like every time we reduce it, they would prefer to stay at home.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I think that I just think it's important for people who don't want to follow that route to have the option to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically all. And I do think another thing that was that I mentioned is that I do think that women have it a lot easier like in the dating realm. But I think that a lot of that comes with a lot of scrutiny as well, like from, like patriarchal ideals from society.
Okay.
I mean, put it this way: since it is something that a woman can consider staying at home, taking care of the family, or she can have the option to stay at home, option to be a stay at home and take care of the family and all of that jazz. So let's say, should that also be applicable to the men as well? So should the man also have the option to be a provider and provide at his own will and all of that? I hope modern feminists too will not be against the idea, because of course they are the strong, independent women that don't need a man. So they should also have the option of having the man provide for them, right? So trad man go for trad woman go for trad man. Then strong, independent women would also go for the options one, or the men who have option to be a provider. I think that will work, because I don't think we need to be stressing ourselves with all of this, or all of this BS. You want a man to provide, you want the option to submit, you want the option to take care of the family. So the man should also have the option to take care of the family too. Since you don't believe in traditional values and traditional norms, so you shouldn't also be entitled to receiving that from the man, right? Modern women, they are their problem. They actually don't know what they want. If you know you want a traditional man, also remember to exhibit traditional values. It's that simple. Don't up and pick and choose when you want the traditional values in your favor. You're just lying to yourself. Obviously, the word submission is a trigger to modern feminists, modern women. They obviously don't like the idea of submitting to a man, but they like the idea of a man providing for them. It doesn't work like that. One has to give. Let me know what you think. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I would really love to share that. You can share other useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.